Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Apocalyptic Optimath. You are now listening to the Apocalyptic Optimath channel. Of course, the most high and mighty Lucifer, revolutionary, also known as Major Hater 1523, if you guys remember. And anything and all those things and all those sorts. And I got many other names uh, that, quite frankly, we don't give a F about. Let's just start the video. So, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. Um, all right. So, my last video, we were talking about. Well, I just came out the shower, so I'm dripping a little bit. So, anyway, sorry. So, we were talking about how you are the government, and of course, this is seen. Okay, so we're gonna go into more esoteric stuff a little bit later. We're gonna start with the simple shit. um you have to understand that society. Okay, let's start with the good news, and then let's go towards the bad news after. So the good thing is that even in a modern day society, you can't, like, a regular person is supposed to know that they are the government, right? Because the way that the government, like, people have a the way they envision how the government works is factual, but it's not necessarily how it's supposed to be working, right? And the only reason why it is factual, the reasoning that society has towards the government is factual, is because we have gotten used to all of the corruption, right? So right now, nowadays, if somebody says you are the government, like, let's say a politician comes along and he uses that as a slogan, he's gonna look idealistic, right? It's an idealistic slogan, and everybody's gonna not take it seriously. Like, just saying that you are the government to that politician, it's not gonna win the election, right? So, because people are kind of desensitized or demoralized and desensitized, and it has become a benign structure of thinking that you are of the government, which is horrendously wrong. And it has gone too far, right? It has gone so far for so long that we don't even remember how the government actually does work. I mean, we do know how it works. People vote and then things, but that's not really what happens. It's just corruption and corruption and corruption and corruption, right? Okay, so I feel like I should take a pause here. Lucifer told me it's okay to be saying some secrets today. Probably not this one, though. Probably not this one, though. But I'm gonna try to say it. So I'm gonna try to say it in a coded language. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it in a coded language because I'm not that clever. So what I'm going to say is Lucifer has the power to influence things, right? Like, we all know that. We all know, like if you go to church, You know, they always say, "Oh, Lucifer and there's minions. They use influence to do this and do that and get you to jump over a bridge or kill your best friend and shit like, and shit like that. Like so. Anyways, um, so so Lucifer can uses his influence to do such things. So okay, so on that basis, so we already know that a high level entity that's supernatural, no pun intended, but a supernatural being can have some form, can holds some form of power to enact some form of influence over people. All right, so imagine, if you will, right? Because I guess the thing that's happening is like a lot of high level magicians don't have a YouTube channel, or maybe what? I don't know what it is. So I'm just gonna lie and say that I invented it. I'm just gonna lie. I'm just gonna go straight Illuminati confirm here and just say that I invented it because it is one of my techniques, you know. But I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna just say it's one of my techniques because I don't want to say too much. I don't want to, but I feel like no, because possession, like a voodoo, like the people that practice voodoo, there's possession is a very big part of like voodoo, right? Like it's a very big thing. It's a huge thing, right? Especially in voodoo, like in voodoo, possession is a way more prevalent in voodoo than any other magic type. To be quite honest, not everybody just let themselves be possessed. It happens from time to time, but not everybody does that. Not all magic. Like I don't know if Wicca. I don't think people that practice Wicca have possession periods. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so in the apocalyptic aftermath here, because I want to tell you how to control the government. I can't really. It's not something that I can say. It's something that I have to show you. It's something that you need to learn. Like you need to. It's a whole process. So it's not easy to give out this information for free, even if I want to. Like even if I want to, it's very difficult to explain. Like it's something that's what, like, when I make these videos, I'm relying on spirit to show you, right? Because and it is a process and it takes, I don't, but maybe I'm slower than other people, but it took me a lot of time to actually like be able. It took me a couple months. Like it could be at least 6 months, if not more. Like at least 6 months. Like I don't know, because some people they pick up magic and bam bam, wham bam, take him out. I don't know. I can't. I know I'm supposed to do shameless, selfless promotion, but there's people out here. There's different kind of people. There's people. I don't know. I don't know. Not everybody says their shit. Nobody talks about nothing. And whatever. Nobody wants to say nothing. In the meantime, Illuminati be saying all kinds of stupid shit to people. Like so I don't fucking know, dude. Like I don't fucking know, guy. Like So, anyways, um, like but like I said, it's not easy to explain how to do that. But I will say that in apocalyptic, in the method of the apocalyptic aftermath magic system, um, the way that we do it that we control. Well, it's not necessarily because it's like it's a specific level that you can achieve. First of all, it's not really a spell. That's the thing too. It's not really a spell. It's not. There is a ritualistic practice, but you're not asking a god to give you the power to control the government. You're not asking spirit to give you. No, it's a specific level that you are on that permits you to have that kind of control over the government. And you need to understand that the reason why you can control what happens in the government is because the government is just a mirror of is just a representation of as above so below. And this is the reason why I always use as below so above. Right? A lot of people say as above so below, and it's kind of like a respectable, because it's like a way to not have spirits be mad at them or be disrespectful, because it's a very bold statement to say as below so above, because you're stating that my existence, when you're saying as below so above, you're stating that human existence is literally um literally a mirror, like a different facet of whatever is going on in the upper realms, right? The higher realms, right? You're basically saying the higher realms cannot exist without me, and I can't resist without the higher realms. And it's true at the end of the day. And you're affirming your power on earth and your authority in whatever is above. So you have to understand that the government is just a representation of atoms. It's a physical representation of what atoms are doing in the universe, right? So when you're capable of seeing the government in this fashion, that's the secret, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. So when you're capable of seeing things in that fashion, right, then you have more control over certain aspects of things, or you understand things better. You might not necessarily, because it's not like you always, like, I don't have mandatory control over the government, right? I have some level of influence over what happens. So, and you have to understand that the government is also a junction of all of these ideas. So it's not just my influence that they're receiving, they're also receiving the influence of many other people. So, yeah. So this is pretty deep shit. This is pretty deep stuff. This is pretty deep stuff. But like I said, Lucifer asked me to do this. That's what I decided to do. Reluctantly. you know, like, well, not really, because I was gonna do a whole series about it. I was gonna stretch the sauce. I was gonna stress the sauce. I didn't want to give everything like that right off the bat. Um, so so yeah, man. So you have to understand, even on a lower platform, even on a very down to earth, physical, non metaphysical platform, you are still the one that's supposed to control the government, because it takes votes, and it's the people that elect the people that work in the government. So the people are the government at the end of the day. You know, that's why we don't have a king. That's the point of democracy. That's the point of democracy. The point of democracy is having the people being able to dictate whatever goes on in the country, right? So, and I'm saying this not that it has anything to do with apocalyptic optimath's fashion way of influencing, managing reality, but it's just in case somebody tells you you're crazy, right? Well, you can't be that crazy when you can't really be a crazy person for saying that you control the government, since the government is supposed to listen to me in the first place. Like, regardless if I have superpowers or not, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's exactly what the government is supposed to do. That's word for word exactly what the government is. So that's literally what their job is. Their job is to listen to what we say, right? And then do whatever we tell them to do, right? You know, and that's the difference between having a government or a hierarchy. Now, mind you, you have to understand that government, governmental things, you know, the word government has a very long lasting connotation with royalty. And royalty is connected to the divine at the end of the day, right? Royalty is whatever is divine, all that is gracious and divine. Well, it's supposed to be a representation of graciousness and divinity, right? You are elected king, you are above all others, you're above all else. So government is technically, the government is above all else. Maybe not today, but let's say Renaissance era, you know, you late, well, still today Europe, kind of, you know, but people a little bit more down to earth nowadays. But you know, you know, Europe still has a king and a queen and whatever. um you know, you have to understand these this and you have to hold a certain precedence. You have to show some form of prestige. Why is that? Where does that come from? So there's a lot of psychological patterns towards what we are doing. And when you understand all of these psychological patterns, you can then, when you feel less crazy when you say that you can control the government. You know, like, you know, so, you know, and especially if you are a chosen one, whatever that means, I don't know. But if you are a chosen one, right, you have to understand that this is supposed to be in your processes, kind of, technically, a little bit. Yes, it is, but whatever. Um, and maybe not too. Maybe not too. Like, you know, I could be just too advanced or some shit. I don't fucking know. I'm not quite sure. But like, I'm pretty like, the thing is, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things. There's some things I've invented. There's some things I have discovered, and then there's some things that I am 100,000% sure that everybody's supposed to notice these things. Like, I don't think it's just me, you know, and I still don't think it's just me. I'm pretty sure there's people out there kind of doing this, but don't realize that they're doing it. And they're like, they either think it's like a coincidence, or they either think it's a coincidence, or like, I don't know, God, whatever, or they chalk it up to, oh man, that's God right there. You know, I just said that, boom, man, God exists, you know, whatever. You know, so I guess that's what's going on with apocalyptic aftermaths, that I have experience using it on purpose, thinking that it's like an exterior factor, an alien from Zen and Bar, you know, that gave me the capability of doing that. No, I do it on purpose, and I practice it, and I practice doing it on purpose, and now I know how to do it, so now I can do it whenever I feel like it, you know. And that's the big difference. That's what apocalyptic aftermath is here for. That's what that magic system is here for. I feel like that's why I invented this magic system, to finally make sense of all of the downloads, clear the bullshit, make sense of all the downloads and all of that shit. I believe that's why I came up with this apocalyptic aftermath thing. So, you know, and it's important, and a lot of people are not gonna accept it. A lot of people are gonna be like, that guy's bullshit and blah blah blah, and I don't fucking care. You can think whatever you want, but you can think whatever you want. I don't really care, but um, I know it works, you know, and quite frankly, I've proven my theory quite a enormous amount of times. Um, I've proven my technique functions too many times for people to doubt, because, like, you know, 2 3 times, if you do something that happens on a global scale, that happens on an international scale, you know, across seas, uh and it happens like more than 3 times, like it's pretty fucked up. I mean, like, it's like I always talk about that video I made about, like, okay, so there was this thing, I made this video 2 years ago about hip hop, and I was like, you know, I was criticizing the hip hop, and I was kind of like, you know, some of your favorite rappers are actually, you know, fucking university majors that read books and play classic piano and eat crumpets and shit like that. And then I'm gonna name drop him. And then, cause, you know, there was Funk Master Flex. Funk Master Flex kind of answered back the video, because I said in the video, they're laughing at us. In my video, I said that, like, that's how I know that he was talking to me. And you know, and that's not the magic part. The fucked up part. This is the fucked up part. Wait, check this out. If it's your first time joining my channel, welcome, by the way. Please subscribe to my channel. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So he answers that they're laughing at me, right? So he said in his video, he's like, they're laughing at me. And after he said that, like 2 days later, like, 21 Savage. Now, if you don't know who 21 Savage is, then you're sleeping under a rock, you know, because he's very fucking popular. So, you know, so 21 Savage, you know, comes out, and there's, like, you know, his dad's a doctor, and, you know, he comes from London, and he eats crumpet exactly as I said it. You know, like, because I did say crumpets. They're drinking tea and eating crumpets, and holy be thy known, 21 Savage actually comes from London, not Chicago. You know, his dad is a doctor. You know, like, okay, my dad was a taxi driver. Like, he's awesome, But my dad's a taxi driver. You know, like, you know, my dad's awesome, but he drives a taxi, dude. Like, you know, like, fuck. I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying. You know, so yeah. So that's fucked up. That's a fucked up happening. And even to me it's weird, and it happens a lot. Because even to me it's weird, because it's kind of like, how did the information come out? I mean, like, it was all over the fucking place. It was in the news. They were like Swiss cheesing 21 Savage, bro. Like, he was all over the fuck. The shit went viral. It was on the paper, in the news, everywhere. Like, you could not miss it. If you did miss it, you was sleeping, or you just don't remember. But it was everywhere, dude. And I was not looking for this shit. Like, I was walking outside. His face was on the fucking journals, like, in the fucking magazines. Like, you'd open the TV. Like, I don't watch the news. Like, you know, open the TV, watch the news. Boom. You know, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. So, and that was after he said that. And mind you, so these people, mind you, they are part of a cabal, and they're trying to control the world and whatnot, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah, right? So how am I capable of doing that? Like, aren't they controlling the narrative? And if they did do it, and I told you that they're laughing at us, and then they show you that they're laughing at you, like I said, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? So anyway, because that's pretty significant. You know, it's the same thing with the Prince Charles thing, the recent painting. It's the same fucking thing. I just said some shit. So whoever's out there listening remembers, because mind you, I had not stated which country that Lucifer had made me king of, which government that Lucifer made me king of. I didn't say it because I didn't want to look crazy. We both know that's bullshit. I don't really care about looking crazy, but still, kind of. I didn't want to. I didn't. I just. It was not about me. It was about magic. And then boom, that comes out. Like, what made you do that? Like, how come you did that? And why would you do it? What would you? Why? Why would you? Why would you acknowledge that? Like, what's the point? I don't understand. Anyway, so who's doing what here? What's you know, like, who's doing what here? So, anyways, like I said, now it's important not to go fucking full schizophrenic and shit. It's okay to go a little bit schizophrenic though, um, because you have to understand, reality is not what it seems to be. You know, reality is not what you were told that reality is. You know, everything is a lie. And I guess you need some kind of bravery to also believe that God is also part of that lie. Everything is a lie. If everything is a lie, then everything is a lie. If you're in a simulation, then all of it is a simulation. There can't be, you can't be in a simulation and one part of it is real, Like there's one specific part that's real and all of it's a simulation. That is just, it's either it's all a simulation or it's all real. It can't be both. So I guess nowadays, and I guess you do need to be brave, you know. And this is real Matrix like thinking. This is Matrix thinking. This is what the Matrix is about. Unplugging yourself from all of that shit and being able to fly and fight crazy kung fu and stuff like that. That's literally what the Matrix is trying to explain to you. Everything isn't real. Like in the Matrix, there is no God doesn't come to save Morpheus and Trinity. The Morpheus does not believe in God. He doesn't talk about. Well, they do say, "Oh my God." I think they say, "Oh my God," you know, when the really crazy shit happens. But that's just, you know, force of nature. You know, you're used to saying something for so long, right? But there's no God entity helping these people. You know, the world is destroyed. The machines rule over everything. They enslave humanity. No, the humans have to develop superpowers and intelligence and machines to keep on existing as they always have done and as they always will do. That's just how it is. So it's not like when they go inside the matrix, it's not like, oh yeah, oh no, you know, whenever you go into a church, it's real. you know, you know, it's not like, oh no, 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 the church is absolutely. How can the church be real if it's part of the fucking simulation? That doesn't make any sense. Unless it's the people, is the resistance that created the church. That no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that's the only way that would make sense. That would mean everybody in the church would be fucking would be the fucking resistance. They would be like Neo and shit. They'd be able to fly and, you know, do crazy kung fu and all kinds of shit, bro. Like, which is not the case. You know. However you want to believe that is, which you will evidently figure out that it's not. you know, like no matter how hard you try, you know. No, what we're really doing is we're looking cool. We're wearing fucking leather jackets, fucking blacked out polarized sunglasses. We're hacking the system. We're freeing minds. That's what we're doing, and we're looking goddamn cool while doing it. That's what we're doing, you know. So technically, like they say in the movie, you know, everybody got the potential to be the one. Like it's a little joke. It's an inside joke because you are that guy. You are that guy. You just have to realize that you are that guy. All the movies, Hollywood movies are documentaries. Most Hollywood movies are documentaries, man. Matrix is a documentary. Most movies, even the action, even some action movies are actually documentaries, bro. Like of something of some sort, you know, because you have to understand, like these guys are into the occult, and when they make movies, the occult is very, very connected to the movies that they do. So you have to understand, almost all movies, there's a little message in there. Sometimes it's just gay shit, but and sometimes there's just nothing in. It's just crap. But most movies, most Hollywood movies, there's a, you know, there's some shit in there. You know, there's a ritual. There's a ritual going on. There's some kind of truth being exposed. There's some kind of ritual being done, whether it's negative or positive. There's some kind of truth being told, whether it's negative or positive. Something is happening, you know. So, as I was saying before, you have to understand, like I've said many times before, a lot of people watch these science fiction movies and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's in the future." No, that's what's going on right now. It's just it's just an interpretation of another. It's like a overlapping interpretation of different interpretation of what is actually going on most of the time. Of course, when we're talking about, like, I don't know, like boring ass science fiction movies that no one cares, that's like way too long for no reason. Yeah, no, like Dune had nothing to say. Like, the old Dune, which I'm which I think it's almost a fucking conspiracy at this point. It's almost a conspiracy at this point that, like, this old Dune, because, well, there was some controversies involved with the old Dune too, I have to admit. But the old Dune movie was saying a lot more. A hell of a lot more. And by the way, the movie's better than the book. By the way. Sorry, Frank Herbert, but it's true. The movie was way better than the book. So, um and I feel like it's almost a conspiracy that they're trying to throw dirt on that movie at this point because it was so fucking good. It was that good. The old Doom movie was fucking great, dude. And so, like, I mean, at the end of the movie, he's wearing a cloak with runes, with, like, Nordic runes on it and stars, and he's using the power of the voice to free his people. Now, the new Dune movie has nothing of that in there. It was gay. It was gay shit. Not for real, it was gay. It was fucking gay. And mind you, I'm not even blaming the actors for that. The movie was just bad. Because the actors did actually the actors in the movie actually did a good job with the crap that they gave them to do, which is incredible because I don't even know how they were able to do that with the shit fucking script that they gave them. Not for real. It was that bad. It was that, and it was that bad. I don't like. It was that bad. It was crap. The new Doom movie, especially, it was boring, and no one ever will watch the 4 hour. That no one's ever gonna watch Dune 1 and 2 back to back ever in history. That will never happen. This is not a classic. No one's gonna remember this movie in 3 months. It was that bad. It was trash. So, like, and if you compare it to the old Dune movie, it's even worse. It's even worse because it's even worse. Like it. So he's using the power of the voice. Like, he's snapping the earth in half. And there's another thing that's going on in society that I believe that's what the problem is. I feel like people don't believe. It's like people are aware of these things. It's like I feel like people feel like when they see something like the power of the voice, people are aware of that shit, like a secret and stuff, and pseudoscience and whatever, right? What people call pseudoscience and whatnot. And it feels like when they see some shit like that, they tune off. Because their reality, their lives, they haven't seen, like, their voice, they probably tried to use their voice as a weapon. And it didn't work. and they're like, fuck that shit. And I believe that this is what's going on with at least a good 60% of Western society. For what I know, from what I know of Western society, I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like a good 60% actually do know about some of these things, but they've tried it and they're like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, so they're not, they don't talk about it, because they're kind of disappointed, or they just feel like it's bullshit, regardless if they tried it or not. So if they see the old version of Dune movie, they tune out because of that part, even though the movie is good. So, and then you watch the new movie, and people, oh, that's great. No, it's not. It's complete trash. There's like the hugest, biggest error in the entire universe, man. The guy gets stabbed in the guts, and then the other frame, in one frame, the knife is in his guts, and then the other frame, the knife is in his chest. How? That's social programming. Nobody's that stupid. No one's that stupid. That's social programming. They just wanted to see if people were gonna react. And nobody reacted. They just wanted to see if people wanted to react. Nobody's that stupid. No one would make an error that flagrant. It's the end of the movie. It's like the most important part of the movie. And one frame after the other. Come on, bro. You didn't see who's it's on a big screen. Who's not gonna see it? A blind person would see that, like, like, that's insane. So anyways, and they changed his power set. They changed the power set of Paul Atreides. He doesn't have the power of the voice anymore. I mean, he has the weirdly way, because you have to understand, he has his own version of the weirdly ways. Yes, it did come from his mother. It did come from his mother. I'm ranting a little bit right now, but the power of the voice did come from the Bene Gesserits. His mother taught him how to use his voice to hypnotize people, to get them to do whatever he wants. But then it was amplified once he took the fucking, the desert penis juice, and I'm kidding, but the worm thing, the spice. When he drank the spice, it gave him fucking superpowers. So his voice was like what he can do. The thing that you need to understand is like what Paul Atreides can do with his voice. The Bene Gesserits cannot do that. Like, he can do a lot more with his voice than they can do. Like, it's a different power than what he was taught. It's not the same thing. So he's godlike. Like, he's literally godlike. Like, he didn't have to fight Fade at the end of the movie. He just didn't want to fucking make the thing look like, because it would be too easy. He could have killed him at any moment. Like he just didn't want to make it too, like, just, wasting somebody's life, like disregarding somebody's life like it's a fucking piece of paper, like. And this, that he could have done it because he can break a rock using his voice, which he also shows everybody else. All the Freemen in the old movie, of course, in the old movie, he shows how to use his voice, to use it as a weapon, and then they use modulators to fight the Harkonnen. So now everybody's using their voice to blow up shit. And he's even, like, there's words he can use to kill. At the end of the movie, he fights Fade. He breaks the guy apart. after the fight, just to show you that, you know, he could have killed him at any moment. He gave Fade an honor of a fair fight. But Fade was no match for Paul Atreides. There was no challenge. It was zero. It was zero challenge there. So, anyways, and the weird shit that the end of the old Dune movie was so fucking weird to me and awesome at the same time. I mean, he does that. He breaks the guy in half. Fucking shit looks like a goddamn fucking Mortal Kombat fatality scene, which was fucking awesome. And then they fucking put a freaking coat with ruins, like Odin shit, on his back, bro. Where the fuck did that come from? What the fuck was that? And then the fucking movie ends. And you're like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, dude? Like, you know, what? It's like, I feel like, so I don't think people are that stupid and they didn't notice. I just feel like, you know when you're doing too much? Like, I feel like that's how people take certain things. People, like, they see shit and be like, man, they be doing too much, bro. He's a wizard. Wizard. That's how people take shit, you know. It's like, that's how people take my fucking videos. I'm fucking sure of it. I'm fucking sure of it. Nobody likes it when I say it's this, nobody likes when I say, chosen one stuff is the new normal, right? Whatever that means. Nobody likes that fucking shit. People tune off as soon as I say that, which is horrible. It's horrible. As soon as I say it, people tune off, and that's like the most badass stuff ever. I don't think people are tuning off when I say, like, you can control the government, but they might. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And of course, I mean, there's a lot more of an explanation that can put behind it, but then I would be saying too many. Now I would fall in the lines of actual practical magic, and that kind of magic is only reserved for initiates. So I don't want to say too much. But I'm pretty sure, like, if you can control the government, like, there's a lot of people that's gonna tune off because they're demoralized, desensitized, demoralized, demonized, all of those things, and they're like, that's idealistic. This bullshit. It's like Dr. Feelgood stuff, whatever, whatnot, whatever. But in actuality, it's that's literally how shit works. And there's a lot, and I'm aware that there's a lot of things that sound idealistic, but some of those things are actually how shit works. And that's fucked up. Because there's certain patterns, there's certain things. If you say it, it sounds like, yeah, like, it sounds like you're being a goody two shoes and shit like that. But you're actually trying to tell somebody, yo, no, that's just how shit works. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It's just how it is. So. So the truth is always hidden in plain sight most of the time, and you have to understand, like, of course, I created. I didn't even. I didn't create apocalyptic aftermath on purpose. I knew I wanted it to be a thing. Uh, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. I knew I wanted it to be a thing. I didn't know it was going to be this thing, right? Like I didn't know it was gonna be this thing. I knew I wanted to do a thing. I knew I was doing a thing, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this. So, anyways, so back to what we were saying, man. If we recapitulate all of these crazy things that I just stated, if you were keeping track, if not, just rewind the video. But to recapitulate, um, the government is only a representation of a. You have to understand, it's not necessarily the people in the government that represents what's going on in the ether, in the higher realms. The word government is the mirror. I know you guys love mirrors. The word government is the mirror. And the situations are not necessarily representative of what is actually going on in the ether, not at all times. And I guess that's where the power is. If you understand, and this is where your idealistic mindset comes in handy. If you understand how a nation is supposed to be ran, if I use the right conjugation there, if I didn't, sorry. But if you understand how a country is supposed to be ran, then that's where your focus and attention, you should focus your attention on that specific part. Like, let's say the government had, let's say there's a timer, and under the timer it says days without accidents. Right? Like, so there's 20 days, 23 days without accidents, right? And then day 24 there's an accident. And the accident, and then you become aware of that accident. And maybe some accidents are fine, but you notice that this accident sounds a bit off or standoffish. That's where you need to focus your attention on that specific incident. And then you need to reverse, I guess. You need to reverse that said incident so that it does not happen. This is, like I said, I feel like that's where the power lies the most. Because like I said, it's fluctuating. There's a lot of fluctuations when it comes to the government. Of course, these guys got paper routes, and there's a lot of Arab telephone things going on in the government, right? So all the information gets lost in translation, and sometimes no one cares about the information that's coming in because they have information that want to go out. So everything fluctuates inside of there. So basically what I'm trying to say is all that information is useless to know about or be aware of. And if you do become aware of those types of information, conspiracy theories, sorry, but if you, but if you do become aware of those incidents, or I'm sorry, I'm kidding. Conspiracy theories are fine. Um, but if you do become aware of those type of information and you accumulate all of those information, that's when you start to lose grasp of your influence over the information, because now you're being swept up by paperwork and you're losing grasp of your reality, or dare I say reality as a whole. But of course we're not there yet, so let's just say your reality. Wink wink. you know so anyways, it's not an insult. It's not an insult. I'm kidding. But I'm a conspiracy at heart, a conspiracy theorist at heart too. But you have to understand, I am the conspiracy. I'm not just I don't just that's the thing. I don't just read, well, that's the thing. A true Okay, word from the wise. A true conspiracy theorist understands that he's the conspiracy. That's how you know. That's the difference between a real conspiracy theorist and just people just losing grasp of their reality, right? Because a real conspiracy theorist understands that the conspiracy is him. You're the conspiracy, because that's the at the bottom line of conspiracy theories. Everything is done against the people. The government poisoned the water. Who are they poisoning? They're not poisoning aliens. They're poisoning us. you know they're not poisoning fucking amoebas 20,000 leagues under the sea, 200,000 leagues under the sea, whatever. And they're poisoning us. The government uses chemicals in the air and stuff. Well, who's breathing the air? Hello. So if you're a real conspiracy theorist, if you really understand what's going on, if you're really a conspiracy theorist, you will say, I'm the conspiracy, because you're the target. Like, you're the target, dude. Like, at the end of the day, like, we are all targets of whatever the fuck is going on, bro. Like, and not even the Illuminati is safe. Well, they're not safe for me. So I don't know. They might be safe from other people, but not for me. So no one's safe, right? So if you're a real conspiracy, if you're really Agent Mulder and Scully from X-File, guess what? Mulder was the conspiracy. At the end of the show, Scully was a spy for the CIA. They partnered her with him to keep an eye on him because he was looking too much into alien shit. And then he figured out that all that alien shit that he was digging up around, they didn't even care about the fucking aliens. They cared about him. He was the fucking conspiracy all along. Everything was about him. Everything. They were watching him more than they were watching aliens, bro. Like, he was more dangerous than the fucking aliens that was on the planet. So pay attention in class. So anyways, I'm gonna stop the video right there. See you guys on the next one. I hope you understand, but guess what? If you don't understand, there's a comment section on YouTube. YouTube uses a thing. YouTube invented This wonderful invention called the comment section. You know, like, oh, and also they invented the thing called subscribe button. So if you feel like it, you don't have to, but if you feel like it, subscribe to the channel. And if you don't understand something that was stated in this video, you would like to know more about something that was stated in this video, well, there's a little box. It's a very small box under the video. I mean, under the player, under the video player. And all you have to do is put a couple words. And with the help of Santa's little helpers, with his little elves, are going to create a message. They're going to send me the message that you wrote, and then I'll be able to write back to you. It's fucking magic, man. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.